at some point in the future, and kind of starting now, that there will be authoritarian forces that are going to try to push things on the right, and like I guarantee you it's gonna happen. And all of the kind of loose alliances are gonna break down. That's what I think is gonna happen. I've been saying this, right? Haven't I said that? Haven't I been saying this for like at least a couple weeks now? But yeah, there was a lot of battles, not necessarily like relating to specific content creators, but their communities. And I really think that a lot of this is just has to do with authoritarian thinking. A lot of people wanting to push stuff on people. I don't know if that's true. Sapphire Aegis says Straub and Christian VTuber, Christian Twitter wants to ban porn and hentai. I don't know if that's true with Straub. I think like the things that were said, you could take it that way, but I don't know if that's what they actually mean. See, Julio says I would ban porn if I could. See, and I'm against that. So this is what I mean. Julio's like authoritarian. And like I'm friends with Julio, but like I disagree with him like very heavily. Well, guys, the statistics actually are very bad. They're very, very much in the favor of like not banning it. That's like yeah. So you can make a couple arguments. So like some of the arguments that are against it are that it. So even in the case. Okay, it goes like this. Let me explain to you the logic behind it, okay? It goes like this. That it should be banned because it's a societal bad, right? And then you counter with the argument that if you ban it, if you ban it, it increases crime rates. Because it does. There's actual statistical evidence that doing that increases crime rates by quite a lot, by the way. It's 100% actually. 100% increase in sexual assault if you ban it. This is the data from Czechoslovakia when it happened in Czechoslovakia. And the thing is the increase of 100% was disproportionately towards children, by the way. So it creates a very, very bad like issue there, right? So the counter argument. So again, like I'm arguing with myself. I'm arguing like from both sides, right? So the counter argument to that would be like, well, you're not counting the negative externality to the people. So let's make hard drugs legal, says Julio. Well, Julio, there's other externalities to that. Like you're thinking at like you're thinking at like a level 1 like a first layer first order consequence. You're thinking of first order consequences. There's like way more than that. So like anyway. So for the drug argument, right? I mean, I'm not gonna go into the drug thing very deeply, but it would be like this: you should have the freedom to like do drugs, whatever, right? It doesn't affect anybody, and then you would say, well, it does actually affect people. Well, that's only affecting that person. It's like, no, but there's second order consequences of it affecting that person, affecting everyone around them, right? So going back to the porn hentai argument or whatever, right? So the counter argument to the counter, which is that crime rates would go up, specifically sexual crimes would like increase. The counter argument to that, well, you're not thinking about the externalities on the people that are doing it, right? Because then there's another set of first order consequences on the other side, because now you have the first order consequences on the people that are doing and producing the porn. Does that make sense? Of like the effects on their personal lives, which then has like second order issues with society, right? Around that. Now, you can solve that by saying that, well, actually, hentai and AI porn are ideal. So then you go into that space and that solves all of the problems. So what I think is that we should just have AI and hentai. That should be it. But anyway, that's kind of the idea behind it and the argument But you're gonna see this, like I'm telling you guys, you're gonna see that this is the new battle. This is the new war you're gonna see. This is the battle that you're gonna see kind of occur in the next couple weeks, if it hasn't already started. But you're gonna have sorry, I'm trying to formulate what I'm thinking. Guys, do I talk too fast? Is that real? People were saying I talk too fast. Do I need to like talk slower? No. Why were people saying that? Yeah, I don't know. People were like saying that I talk too fast. They were saying I talk like Destiny. I was like, what? Anyway, so what I was saying is that we're gonna see this happen soon, and the reason why is because the left is rapidly losing power. So imagine the battlefield with me again, okay? The left is collapsing in on itself because they're so fucking dumb. Like I can't really explain it any other way. They're so bad. They're collapsing in on themselves, right? They're losing so much power, like in real time, like really fast, like a really rapid collapse, right? And what's gonna happen now is that the authoritarian right is going to then turn on people that aren't authoritarian, like me. And like I already see this happening. Like this is gonna happen, like for sure. And I'm just saying, like I'm calling it right now. You're gonna see a lot more right on right fighting. It's gonna happen in the next couple of months. Thank you, Ventil. Thank you. It's already happening. I know. That's why you have shit like you have shit like Fuentes like occurring, and he like and Matt Walsh, all of the anime hater people. And I just want to say, by the way, because it really has to be said, is like, you guys are fucking punk bitches because we saved your asses. The freaking gamers and the anime people saved your fucking asses. And they're gonna turn on us next. I see it. I can smell it. And Alex Jones too. Oh yeah, they're kicking out Alex Jones too, from what I know. It's all bullshit, man. And this is what I meant. Like, there's really no the coalition against the woke is not really a group of people that believe the same thing. The secret part is the anime people are the more authoritarian right than the public faces. No, I don't think that's true. I don't actually think that's true for the most part. Not at least like core anime. I think core anime is very pro freedom. Yeah, anime is largely anti-government. Yeah, exactly. Silver, thank you so much for the 500. I hate that you're right about this. The right always self-sabotages. Well, both sides do, right? Because they don't know how to utilize victory. I feel like Tanya. Both sides do this, right? Like the left did this too, right? The authoritarian left kicked out all of the non-authoritarian left people, like shoe on head. Well, it's not even, sorry, it's not just non-authoritarian. It's also people that weren't like completely ideologically 100% like in line with them. They all got kicked out as well. Okay, so this all ties into something like pretty big. Okay, I'm gonna tell you guys, all right? So I was thinking about this morning. I was laying in bed, and I literally was just laying in bed for like a couple hours, like doing nothing. I was just thinking, because I'm retarded, and that's a thing that I do. So I'm laying there thinking about, okay, like what frameworks do I fit into? Because I feel like everyone does this. Like, what am I? Am I conservative? Am I libertarian? Am I nationalist? What am I, right? And you just sit there and you're just like, where do I fit? Okay, I believe this and this and this and this, and it fits like into this thing, and then I think this, but then this fits into this thing, and that conflicts with like what those people believe, right? And I'm sitting there like, I don't really fit in with a lot of this stuff, you know? And then I realized, I had like kind of an epiphany of like, if I don't fit into any of these, like, why don't I just make my own? So that's what I did. I made my own framework. So I have my own moral framework now, which is great. And it's completely compatible with Protestant Christianity. Leafism? No, it's called Stellar Humanism. That's the name of it. And it's all about how God's creation is awesome, and that's humans. Humans are awesome. And since you love God, God loves creation because God created everything and said it was good. And God loves his creation. So if that's true, then we should do our best to protect creation, which means we have to go to space. I already talked about this. But all of the morality can secularly be binded by that. And like the problem, right, is like, you know, if I go full religious on it, right, and I say, okay, well, it's about loving God's creation and God's morality. No one else is gonna buy that, to be honest. Like anyone that is atheist or a different religion is gonna be like, well, I don't buy that shit, right? And so you lose. You basically lose a bunch of people like for that ideology. So like, here, let me tell you what I have. Okay, here's the core axiom, okay, guys? The core axiom, it's a core secular axiom that everyone can get behind, and it's totally compatible with Christianity. At least Protestantism. Might not be compatible with Catholicism. Because y'all are hella authoritarian. But it goes like this. Humanity is a net positive force in the universe. Our highest moral duty is to maximize our long-term survival and flourishing by escaping single-planet vulnerability and reaching the stars. Any action, policy, or personal choice is ethically evaluated by whether it net advances or at least does not meaningfully hinder civilizational capacity for space expansion, technological progress, scientific knowledge, productive human capital, low time preference culture, population health, innovation drive, etc. What do you guys think? So basically, all of morality, you can have a secular morality that basically says, if you are fucking around, it is immoral to fuck around and not get us to space. So like, I feel like everyone can get on board with it. Tower of Babel? How is it Tower of Babel? It's not Tower of Babel. The reason why you have to get to space is because like we are in danger. Like a one planet civilization, all of creation can be blown up. And like, you can't really count on the world ending. Like you can't, like, look, okay, speaking, like, I'm stepping out of this stellar humanism now, stepping into Christian, okay? You can't count on God ending the world before that happens. Because we don't know when the world ends. So like, to assume that the world ends before that before the planet is unusable, that is a dereliction of duty of stewardship, isn't it? How about trusting God's plan? Okay, but see, that's a sin. That's literally a sin, Kure Kitsune. It's a sin to say, oh, well, God isn't going to blow up the planet. Well, how do you know that? How do you know that the enemy isn't going to blow up the planet? And to be like, well, God's got us. I mean, so I don't have to do anything. That's a sin. I don't know if that's what you meant. I'm assuming it's what you meant, because I don't know what other context you could have said that, but... I mean, do you have a real vision God will destroy the planet? So, like, the idea, right? So the idea is, if you do, we have to have multiple planets. And there's multiple reasons for this, because there's multiple fail states in humanity. There's multiple fail states. So, like, let me give you a couple examples. Fail state number 1, total Quango control. All right, let's assume that the Quangos, like the leftist Quangos, do total takeover. It's over. Everything is gonna be fucked, right? And let's say that, I don't know, maybe you could say there's a nuclear path for like everything blowing up. There's a fucking alien path for everything blowing up. There's a pandemic path for everything blowing up. There's a global warming or whatever the hell people want to say path for everything blowing up. There's like solar flare, like asteroid. Like there's so much shit that can happen that could blow us up. Right? And even like if you want to go, so Quango left takes over and they make everything into an unlivable like Cronenberg like hellscape, right? That's one. If the Quango right takes over, then Islam takes over, and it's cooked too. We need freedom. We need freedom, basically. Sounds like trying to save everyone when that's not our job. Wait, you mean me? I'm trying to save everyone when it's not his job. Why is it not my job? Wait, what? What do you mean it's not my job? Oh, you're talking to Walla. Okay, I can't tell. Darth Grumpy Dad Games, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the sub. But there's so many fail states, right? There's, if you think of it like a visual novel, right? Ragnarok, thank you for the tier 3, thank you. If you think about a visual novel, right? There are so many bad ends that we can reach, and they're not even beyond, like, all of these bad ends are not improbable, right? Like, a virus could happen and then we're cooked. I kept saying, like, a meteor could hit us and we're cooked, right? They're more likely, yeah, it's very likely that something will happen, right? So again, stepping back into the Christianity thing, so that people can kind of understand where I'm coming from. If you love God, you have to love creation, and you as a steward of creation, it is your job to protect it, right? Which involves moving humanity into the future. And because of all of those fail states, we have to create a situation in which we are safe from the fail states. We are more protected from fail states. And if we can become an interstellar, at least interplanetary, but interstellar eventually, intergalactic in the end, civilization, then if one planet gets destroyed, we're still okay. This sounds like running away. Why? How does it sound like running away? And yes, actually, you're kind of right. To be honest, you're kind of right. We do have to have an escape option, because think about the founding fathers of America. Like, would you say that they're pussies because they went to the New World, because they didn't like the authoritarianism that was going on? They didn't like the crown. They didn't like all that shit. So they moved over. All of those people, like, are they pussies? Like, I prefer the word pioneer, Luminous Gold says, we are giving free will by God for a reason. Just removing genitals on the priest was deemed not good by the church, since it removes temptations. Removing choice and free will does not get people automatically good, since the entire point of giving free will, forcing people into being good, doesn't absolve them from sin. And that's what the authoritarians don't understand. Yes, exactly. Exactly, Luminous Gold, exactly. It's much better to, like, be in control of yourself and resist temptation yourself than to have other people do it for you. I totally agree with that. Again, thank you for that. Thank you for the 100, right? Leaf, when you have a moment, there's kicks. Okay, sure, I'll take a look. Thank you so much, by the way. Thank you. Where are we? Oh, jeez. Good time. Thank you for the 30. Thank you so much. And Cream Monarch, thank you for the 500. Engage with the nuance, Leaflet. I'm trying. Lethal Wave, thank you for the 500. I'm just in it for the mech. See, yeah, me too. But see, that is true, Lethal Weeaboo. I am pro mech, because if we have mechs, that helps us, like, in the future, whether that's for terraforming a planet or, like, whatever. I'm very pro mech. My ideology is very pro mech. Yes, Sig Xeon, exactly. Herman Status, thank you for the 500. I believe Matthew 25:14-30 fits your views of humanity to have impetus to grow, care for creation, and reach of the stars. Yeah, exactly. Right, and see, do you see how I mean by it's also secular? Because you can secularly get behind it as well, right? It's like, if you just, all you have to agree with is that humanity is awesome, and humanity has value and has to continue into the future. If we can agree on that, then we can agree on most of it.
Another note, we need space if we want to fulfill God's command to multiply until our children are as numerous as the stars in the sky. There are a lot of stars, more than can fit on Earth. The anti-space Christians
So
confuse
true.
me.
Even literally, Walla. Thank you. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think of stellar humanism? What do you think? I put it in my freaking bio on X. I changed my thing to it. It says it right here. See? That's my new thing. Is it gonna be a YouTube video? I don't know. Maybe. But I feel like we can all get on board with this, right? And it's very like anti-Quango. It's total anti-Quango ideology. And see now within that moral framework, right? If the moral framework is a non-religious one, because again, what I said about moral frameworks, right, is like if you use a religious moral framework and that's all it is based on a religious principle of not getting not getting Thanos snapped by God. If that's like your entire like, do you guys see how this is so weak? Like, am I the only one that thinks this? Like, I think that the entire ideology that a lot of people have, like, especially like religious people, but like this isn't just, I mean, there's two opposing like cringe ideologies. Like one of them is that like it's kind of, it doesn't really fucking matter what you do. That's like one of them. Oh, it doesn't really fucking matter. There's like nothing. There's nothing after this life. Fuck, who gives a shit, right? I can just like fucking jack off all day. It doesn't matter. That's like one side of the spectrum, and the other side is like, oh well, you know, I don't want to go to hell, so I better be good. I better be good, otherwise God Thanos snaps me. And I'm like, wait, so your entire religion, your entire like religious like motive is like fear based? Like, what the hell is that? Like, your entire reason, your raison d'etre is that you don't want God to blow you up. Like, what the hell? Like, it's so lame. Like, Sonic the Hedgehog, thank you so much for the bits, thank you. And like, I'm not saying that that's not gonna happen. What I'm saying is that like, if that's your motive to exist, that what? So like your entire like love of God is based on fear? Like what the hell? Like it's just so weird. Right, which is why I think like that's why I think this framework is way more healthy. Even from a religious Christian perspective, the framework is I love God so much that I need to continue God's creation. That I have to love that. I have to maximize that which God loves. If God, like if we can agree as Christians that God loves humanity and loves creation, we should want to maximize our love should be to maximize what God loves. It shouldn't be based on like you're scared. It just seems lame. Drew Victor says, I always use secular arguments, Leaf, even though I'm a person of faith. The issue is purely religious arguments is a significant fraction of people will tune them out, even if they might otherwise agree with you. Yeah, exactly, Drew. Exactly my point. Necrotic Arm, thank you so much for the sub. Thank you. Like I totally want. I'm gonna look at this, Ron. Give me a second. Let me finish my thought. I totally agree with that, and that's the reason why I keep advocating for not using religious arguments in public debates. So, like, if it's a debate between two Christians, then you can use a religious argument because you both agree to the rules. Does that make sense? Because if you don't, then explaining what Drew is saying is if you take a religious argument to a secular or an argument from another religion, then what happens is you say, well, God says this, and then they say, well, don't give a fuck. Right? Like, I don't care. Like, I don't really care about your religion. And then what happens is it's over. Like, the argument's over. Now, and that's why I said that stellar humanism is such a good framework, because all you have to agree on is that humanity is good. And I think it is good and should exist in the future. If you can agree with both of those things, now we have a framework from which to work around. Does that make sense? It's a secular framework, but it's compatible with the religious framework because it's the same goal. right? The secular goal and the religious goal are the same. The goal being to reach space so that we can go forth and multiply. There's a common ground there, right? And that's the idea behind it, is that all of the ethics can be derived from that, right? So does a thing, so for instance, like, would being lazy be immoral within this framework? The answer is yes, because you are not contributing to, you are actively not contributing in making the thing better, getting us to space by being lazy. By being like a commie, you are definitely not getting us to space. Do you see what I mean? No, it's not. It's actually the opposite of communism, Ver. It's it's actually the closest, the thing it's the closest to is actually American foundationalism. This is a new religion? No, it's not. How's it a new religion? It's not even religious, it's secular. It's separated. That would be like saying that being a Republican is a religion. Like, what do you mean? That's like saying that conservatism is a religion. It just doesn't make any sense. It's philosophy. Yeah, yeah, it is. It's philosophy. What is the word for it? What's the word for it? It's a political ideology? Is that right? It's a philosophy. It's a definition of moral philosophy. Tribalism? It's actually anti-tribalist. So the reason why it's anti-tribalist is because we want people to like experiment with a bunch of shit. Because experimenting with a bunch of shit actually gets us there. It's both? How is it both, Julio? What do you mean it's both? It's compatible, but it's... Hold on. How is it both? Can you explain that to me? Do you know what techno-puritanism is? That's Malcolm's thing, isn't it? Isn't techno-puritanism... That's Malcolm and Simone's thing, right? I actually don't know about it. If you can choose one planet you want to live on Uranus. So would Elon be a stellar humanist? Probably. I'd say so, yeah. But basically, like, for me, it's not a replacement of Christianity. It's a replacement of, like, Republicans. Because, like, let's be real. Republicans fucking suck. Like, can we be, like, real on that? Like, they suck. Like, libertarianism sucks, too. Right? It all fucking sucks. And this is how I came to this conclusion. This is how I woke up in the morning and I was thinking about this, because it all sucks. I was like, what am I? Am I a Republican? Am I like what am I? Am I Republican? Am I a libertarian? What fits me? And I was like, wait a minute, these all fucking suck. Yeah, so I was like, you know what? I'm just not gonna fit into any political ideology. I'm just gonna make my own. And again, it's not a religion. It's not a religion. You could believe whatever you want. You can be a secular. So you can be secular and you can still be a stellar humanist. People think I'm MAGA. Well, I mean, it's fairly close to MAGA because the beliefs are very close to American foundationalism. So it's fairly similar. Same mindset, same pioneering mentality. Secularism is a religion. No. Yet a pioneering action focused drive. Exactly. And see, like, everything ties in, right? Everything does, right? So here, let me explain. We need scientific advancement. We need people to... Everybody has a role to play. It's like I said, like, in this ideology, everybody has a role to play, like, no matter, like, how low status you are. Because we need people to, like, make more people. Which is why I said we need to have lots of babies, because that gets us, like, more people. And more people is already good, like, by default, by the initial concept, the initial axiom of humanity being a general good is already fulfills that. But then we also need people that aren't lazy, that are gonna do stuff. But it also involves crushing the socialists and the quangos, because the socialists and the quangos are also gonna fuck shit up. So like it's also gonna hinder us from getting to space. because their ideology is inherent. So let me explain. Like, I can explain like the socialism one. There's way too many for me to like tackle all at one time, but specifically with socialism, communism, the reason why it's the reason why it is morally bad from the standpoint of stellar humanism is because their framework is inherently anti-incentive, and anti-incentive is going to slow progress for like making stuff, and which will lead to us not being able to get to space, possibly in time or possibly ever. They are hindering us right now, yes, which is why it is a moral bad. So like for me, it is a moral good to speak against communism. Does that make sense? So within that framework, if that is your moral imperative, then it is a good thing for me to speak out against communism. That would be my job in the entire thing. You have this written down anywhere? No, I'm still working on it, Artanis. I'm glad you like it though, but I'm working on it right now. I'm gonna write like an entire thing, a manifesto, if you will. the anti-communist manifesto. Voice and Rex, thank you for the bits. Thank you so much. Manifest Destiny 2.0. Exactly. That's what I mean, right? That's why I said it was like the closest political ideology would be like American foundationalism, right? Techno-Puritanists believe that the hand of God is seen in the advancement of humanity, and that the moral framework that best advances human progress is the truth. Oh, that's like Malcolm's thing, isn't it? Precure isn't techno-Puritanism? That's Malcolm's thing, isn't it? Malcolm's really cool. I like Malcolm a lot. Your dog, thank you so much for the bits. So you're pro-tax as long as it's spent on the space program? No. So the reason I'm not okay, Yard Dog, the reason why I'm not pro-tax is because taxes are inherent. Okay. Within stellar humanism, high taxes are immoral. They're immoral because the government sucks. The government sucks at handling any funds. It's better for the private sector to handle any of that shit because they're more efficient. So like high taxes in order to spend on space program is actually inherently bad because it's inefficient. It's gonna clog up progress more than it will advance it. And you can see this, right? Just in like SpaceX versus NASA. Like, just look at the difference. Like, it's not even close. Like Elon was like, we're gonna make rockets that are reusable. They're reusable and like they land like straight down. And people were like, that's bullshit. That'll never happen. And then he did it.
But Bill Gates told me there's too many people and that we need less people in the world.
What a fucking dickhead. See, that's like our enemy right there. People are like, well, the earth has like limited resources and we need less people, lower birth rates. What a freaking moron. God, I hate those people. Those guys are the biggest quangos, by the way. Chat needs a lecture in what a religion is. I mean, I know it's a little complicated. It's a little complicated. But anyway, that was my TED Talk. I hope you guys liked it. What do you guys think? Who's joining up? We're gonna make it. We're gonna get to space. And if it's not us, if we won't get to space, at least like our you know, the future people will, right? Like our children, our ancestors, they'll get there. We just have to do our best to make it so that they get there faster. Well, I might not be able to do it in my lifetime, but you know, you guys will have kids. You'll teach them right, and then they'll be the ones that get there, or maybe your kids' get there. But if we don't do anything and we just fuck around and we just like, I don't know, fap to hentai all day, then like we'll never get anywhere, right? And that's not to say that like that's not to say you can't fap to hentai, right? I mean, I'm just saying that like if you do it all the time, that's all you do, then we'll never get there, and humanity might end, or the quangos might take over, or something like that. And I'd like to prevent that.